Zemu Glacier. Yes. Zemu Glacier. Yes. And you will be able to see Kanchenjunga Peak, the physical map. Kanchenjunga. Third highest peak. Third highest peak. Biosphere Reserve. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Also a national park. We already discussed about the rivers of Sikkim, which flows through Sikkim and all. And we discussed about West Bengal regions. We discussed Torsa, Mahananda, all the rivers. So we are not discussing any more with the rivers, right? You will be able to see Sikkim as 11 state languages will be there. Understand it, why there can be 11 state languages. You have Bhutan on one side, Bhutan on one side, Nepal on the other side, Tibet regions, West Bengal regions. So 3 countries surrounded and also by a state from India itself. So multiple language discussions multiple language cultural interactions will be there. They have a large number of official languages for the state. That is because they are bordering with 3 countries. Official languages, 11 official languages. Don't need to remember the number, it's 11, right? And large cardamom in Sikkim has GI tag. Cardamom, the spice and condiments. Large cardamom has GI tag. Cardamom, Cardamon. Large cardamom has GI tag. And 2 passes. Nathula and Jelipla, the 2 passes in Sikkim. 2 passes in Sikkim. And with respect to the tribes, Bhotia and Lepcha. Bhutia and Lepcha. Tribes of Sikkim. National Park. NP National Park. BR Biosphere Reserve. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Right? We'll move to Rajasthan. Rajasthan. Right? Within Rajasthan, you will be able to physiography of Rajasthan, you will be able to see the Aravallis in north-south direction, slightly northeast, southwest direction. That will be the case, right? Aravallis. On this side of Aravallis, on the northwest direction of Rajasthan regions, it's completely dry, arid, and your tar desert regions. Okay, yes. We'll be able to see the rivers only in few places. To the east of Aravallis, you will be able to see the rivers. On the western side of Aravallis, only in the southern part alone, you will be able to see the rivers. Other places, you won't be able to see any rivers in the region. Yes. So the entire northwestern part of Rajasthan is a arid region, desertic environment. East and the southern part of Rajasthan has few numbers of rivers which feeds the agriculture in the region. Yes. So can I say Aravallis divide the state into two? Aravallis dividing the state into two. Okay. The one I am going to speak now is an hypothetical condition, right, which is not existing. Hypothetically speaking, if by any chance, instead of the Aravallis present in north-south direction, if by any chance, instead of Aravallis present in north-south direction, if it was present in east-west direction, what would have happened? Right? For that, let me step into one more which we have not discussed. We will be Indian monsoon will be discussed later, right? Your Aravallis are located like this, right? And your monsoon, winds have been blowing from this direction. So monsoon flows on parallel direction to your Aravallis. Monsoon is blowing parallel to your Aravallis direction. If by any chance your Aravallis are in this direction, hypothetically speaking, in east-west direction, the monsoon will be stopped. The mountains will be on perpendicular direction to the monsoon winds. So monsoon winds will be stopped. When the monsoon wind is stopped, there will result in large amount of rainfall in the particular region. Is it clear? If that has taken place, you might not add desertic environment in the particular region. Rather, the northern region or the northwestern regions, wherever the mountain is there, that region would have get enough amount of rainfall and possibility of different kinds of soil, different kind of climatic conditions, different kind of agriculture pattern, different kind of settlements would have been done. Right? So what we are trying to say is, if by any chance Aravallis has been in a different orientation, then the climatic condition of Rajasthan would have also been different. That's for your understanding, nothing more. Right? Is that clear? Yes? No? Shall I move? Yes, thank you. Thanks, Ellen, Satya, Ashwin. Yes, okay. Usual. கண்ணு மறுபடியும் இது சொல்லு கண்ணு, ஐடி சொல்லு கண்ணு, க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டு தெரியாது நம்ம 880. இந்த ஃபோனில் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுல என்ன பிரச்சனைனா, இந்த ஆப்பெல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணி முடிச்சுட்டு இப்படி ஸ்வைப் பண்ணால் அதே மாதிரி பழக்கம் வந்துடுது நமக்கு. கோடு 980-376. ஃபைன். கோஸ்ட்டை மாற்றுப்பா. Okay. Close the app. Wrongly, so I was asking if people who don't understand Tamil, I was asking them to give the code. That's it. Moving to the next one. Okay. We're done with respect to physiography of the region and with respect to the state. Largest state of India, Aravallis. Largest state in India. Sorry, not Aravallis. Rajasthan, largest state in India. Look into your map and identify whether Tropic of Cancer passes through Rajasthan or not. Tropic of Cancer passes through Rajasthan or not. Yes, no? Tropic of Cancer will be passing through the southern part of Rajasthan. There will be a place called as Banswara. Below Banswara, the location, the map, your political map, below Banswara, there will be Tropic of Cancer will be passing through. Tropic of Cancer passes through Rajasthan. It passes through Rajasthan. For the one who said no, right? In a hypothetical condition, Punjab will not get rainfall. There is another branch which will also come. Yes, hypothetical condition. By going by the hypothetical condition, Karthik, Punjab will not get rainfall from the Arabian Sea branch. Right? I'm keeping the mobile out and we'll step into the classes. Right? After the state, we'll discuss on. So, as we always follow, right? The same thing. Flag it off your doubts and type the doubts so that you miss the next points. Don't miss the next points. Physiography of the region. Take it down. Aravallis does not intercept the southwest monsoon of the Arabian Sea. Southwest monsoon winds of the Arabian Sea. Aravallis does not intercept the southwest monsoon winds of the Arabian Sea. As it lies in the parallel direction, to that of monsoon winds. As it lies in the parallel direction to that of monsoon winds. Full stop. It results in northwestern region of Rajasthan. As a rain shadow region. As a rain shadow region. Right? Is it clear now? Even further? And someone asked to repeat again, so the notes will make it more clearer, I think. I don't know the name. Oh, it's clear now, right, ma'am? And the Aravallis will be dividing the state into two. The north and the northwestern part of Rajasthan will be dry, arid and desertic environment. North and northwestern part of Rajasthan. North and northwestern part of Rajasthan. North and northwestern part of Rajasthan is dry, arid and desertic environment. East and southern part of Rajasthan. Floodplains of the river Chambal, tributaries, and the other rivers we will be mentioning, right? So no need to worry about that. Shall I further? Look into the map. Above Aravallis, can you see Abu Hills in the map? ABU. Mount Abu. Infrared observatory is located in Mount Abu. So, there are mountains which is taller than the Mount Abu. It's something like very small, like 1,000 plus 1,000 few hundreds. Not much taller. He could have kept the infrared observatory in those tallest peaks in India, right? Why to keep it here? You look into the other parts of the regions, and this part of the region, this region is a desertic environment. Gautam would have discussed about it with respect to the desertic environment. Deserts will be present in the western margin of the continent or the places, right? Countries. There will be subsidence of air mass will be there. Clear sky will be there. Clouds will not be available. Because clouds are not available, the radiation will come straightly direct. So the daytime period will be excessively hot, and night re-radiation will also be lost. There won't be any clouds to block. So night will become excessively cold, right? Gautam has not stepped into your batch. I think both the weekend batches, Gautam would have stepped in, right? So this happens here. Clear sky will be there. Clouds will not be available. When you have clear sky and there is no clouds available in the region, it's easy for you to do the observation, right? So infrared observatory is located there. Mount Abu infrared observatory is located in the region, and just slightly above Mount Abu, can you find the Guru Shikhar? Guru Shikhar? Yes? Lord Dattatreya. Religious site, Lord Dattatreya. What is Lord? Who is Lord Dattatreya? Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, all three together. Lord Dattatreya. Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma. Next point. 67% of the state. 67% of the state is desertified. 67% of the state is desertified. When we say desertified or desertification, we are not speaking only about the deserts, not at all. Desertification is a different process, right? Take it down. Reduction in the, for desertification, right? Desertification. Reduction in the fertility status of the soil. Reduction in the fertility status of the soil. Reduction in the fertility status of the soil is desertification. Reduction in the fertility status of the soil is desertification. Factors causing desertification. Number one, faulty agricultural practices. Faulty, F-A-U-L-T-Y, faulty agricultural practices. We'll see examples in the course of time when we see Rajasthan itself, right? Faulty agricultural practices. Number two, deforestation. Faulty agricultural practices. Deforestation. Mining. Change in land use pattern. Faulty agricultural practices, deforestation, mining, change in land use pattern. In the course of our discussion with Rajasthan, Gujarat, we'll see all those examples, which so it will become even more clear, right? Moving to the next, the rivers of Rajasthan. We discussed about, look into the map on the eastern side of Rajasthan, eastern side of Aravallis, you will be able to see Chambal flowing there. You will be able to see Kalisand will also flow there. And you will also be able to see a river called as Banas flows there. All these are tributaries of Ganga. It joins, Banas joins Chambal, Chambal will be joining Yamuna, Yamuna will be joining Ganga. So, Chambal, its tributaries, importantly Banas, B-A-N-A-S, Banas, joins Yamuna. So, these are east flowing rivers. Or in other words, they join Bay of Bengal, right? Sabarmati, Mahi, they flow into Arabian Sea. Mahi, we already discussed while discussing about Madhya Pradesh. Sabarmati we will be discussing. Right? They flow into Arabian Sea. Chambal and its tributaries flow into Bay of Bengal. Mahi and Sabarmati flow into Arabian Sea. Luni, Gagar, inland drainage. Luni and Gagar as inland drainage. We have seen a Gagar in Haryana, we are not discussing about that. Right? We have seen a Gagara in Uttar Pradesh, we are not discussing about that. Right? This is another one. Luni and Gagar, inland drainage. Sir, what do you mean by inland drainage? Right? The river does not connect to another river, that is, river is not a tributary to another river, nor the river joins a sea, nor the river joins a lake, nothing of that has been taking place. The river is seasonal in manner and the river will be flowing. Suddenly at one place, the river will disappear. We call them as inland drainage or ephemeral rivers. We'll be discussing much more when we step into the rivers. Only Chambal, the next point, only Chambal and Mahi are perennial rivers. Only Chambal, the Chambal which origins in Madhya Pradesh, then flows into Rajasthan, and then moves to Uttar Pradesh, joins Yamuna, that particular Chambal, right? Only Chambal and Mahi, M-A-H-I, Mahi are perennial rivers. Others are seasonal. Stepping into the next subtopic, rivers. Number 1, Luni. Luni. Can you identify Luni? To the western side of Aravallis, it will be flowing, connected by the tributaries. And suddenly, on the boundaries of Rajasthan and Gujarat region, the blue line will disappear, right? Usually, when you see a river, the blue line will go on, and the blue line will either connect to another river, or the blue line will reach the ocean or the sea. But here in this case, it doesn't happen. It goes up to the Rana of Kutch region, and after that, it is not at all available, right? That's what we call as inland drainage. Luni, major river in northwest arid Rajasthan. Major river in northwest arid Rajasthan. Origin, Pushkar, near Pushkar is a place. Origin, near the place Pushkar. Two streams, Saraswati and Sabarmati, join together to form Luni. The head of the region, you will be able to see two streams will be joining. Those two streams are Saraswati and Sabarmati, joined together to form Luni. Ephemeral river, which means inland drainage. Ephemeral river, inland drainage. It disappears. Next point, ephemeral river, inland drainage. It disappears in the Ran of Kutch region. It disappears in the Ran of Kutch region in Gujarat. Luni river, origin near Pushkar. Saraswati and Sabarmati joins together to form Luni. Right, ephemeral river, which means inland river, it disappears in the marshy lands of Ran of Kutch region. The southern part of the couple of tributaries join together. You will be also able to see a major tributary called as Javai. The southern part of Luni. Javai. Javai is the major tributary of Luni. We also have a dam in Javai called as Javai Dam. Javai is the major tributary of Luni. Also has a dam called Javai Dam. Crocodile Sanctuary is located in Javai Dam. Crocodile Sanctuary located in Javai Dam. Yes, sir. Why are we reading? How will I be able to use all those? For an example, the crocodile sanctuary is present in Javai. So how can I use it? If by any chance in your GS paper 3 in mains examination they ask about the river ecology or river biodiversity, then you will be able to see, sir, you see a point that you will be able to say certain points. Very less number of points will be available to say river has biodiversity. That's it. What will I be able to write? Then you will be able to put a diagram and say, sir, Chambal has enough amount of crocodiles in the region. Chambal also has Gangetic dolphin. Similarly, you take another river in another part of the region and speak about its biodiversity. So you will get multiple more points, multiple more examples to write, and that adds value to the paper, right? So you will be able to finish 2 pages. That's it. Likewise, let it be history, let it be economics, let it be internal security, international relationships. In last class, we are discussing about the rivers of the one emerge in Mizoram or Manipur or Tripura regions, how it goes into Bangladesh or the Myanmar regions, how it can be used as an international cooperation between the countries, lookist policy into the regions. So the entire objective of the map classes is to touch all the states and also to give all possible points so you can use it in your mains examination in various subheadings. That's it. Right. Next one, Banas. Banas, B-A-N-A-S. They have a story behind the name Banas, right? Ban ki as is Banas. Ban ki as. Ban in Hindi means forest. As is hope. So they say Banas or Ban as is the hope of a forest because it will be flowing in the eastern direction from the Aravallis regions. And because of this river Banas, you will be able to see some amount of moisture in the region. Vegetation is available. Today we are doing agriculture, but in the earlier time periods, it's only a forested region, right? So they said because water is being provided by Banas, you will have enough amount of wetness in the floor and there will be vegetation will be able to grow in the regions. Just to know the stories. Just to say the importance that because of Banas, the eastern part of Rajasthan, you will be able to do agriculture in the region. And that is not plenty, right? It's still a arid region, but compared to the northwestern part of Rajasthan, agriculture is done here. We are not comparing Rajasthan to, say, Kerala. We are not comparing it to Karnataka regions or Uttar Pradesh regions in terms of its moisture levels. Not at all, right? Banas, origin Aravallis. Origin Aravallis. Banas, origin Aravallis. Look into the map, you will be able to see Banas, one in the eastern direction, another one in the western direction. 2 branches of Banas is available. If you have a mountain like this, one starts from this side, goes east, the other starts from this side and goes west. That's it, right? Banas, east and west branches. East branch will be connecting with Chambal, so it becomes a part of Chambal tributaries and goes to Bay of Bengal. How about West Banas, sir? It will be flowing towards the western region. Then it will be flowing into Arabian Sea. East Banas as part of Bay of Bengal river system. West Banas flows into Rann of Kutch region. West Banas flows into Rann of Kutch region. The next river, Banganga, Banganga, Banganga. Banganga, Bairath, Aravallis, near a place called Bairath in Aravallis, Banganga. This is located north of Jaipur. Example of ephemeral river, which means inland drainage. Ephemeral river, inland drainage. Next river, Sabarmati. Origin near Udaipur, Aravallis, flows into south of Rajasthan and then Gujarat regions. We discussed about Mahi already in Madhya Pradesh. So not discussing about Maghi, not discussing about Chambal, not discussing about Kali Sindh, not discussing about Parbati, right? The northern part of Rajasthan, closer towards Haryana. Look into the map. Can you identify a river called as Sabi, S-A-B-A? Sabi. Yes. It also goes by another name, Sahibi. In the map, you will be able to see Sabi. It also goes by another name, Sahibi. Origin, Saiwar Hills. Origin, Saiwar Hills. Sabi flows through Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. Sabi flows through Rajasthan, Haryana and Delhi. Tributary of Yamuna. Sabi flows through, Sabi origin Saiwar Hills, flows through Rajasthan, Haryana, Delhi. Tributary of Yamuna. Yes. Shall I move to the next one? The northwesternmost direction. Can you identify a small blue line and it goes by the name Indira Gandhi Canal? Indira Gandhi Canal. It's an artificially created canal, right? Indira Gandhi Canal. Water is diverted from Harike. Water is diverted from Harike to Indira Gandhi Canal. Water is diverted from Harike. We discussed about Harike while discussing about Himachal Pradesh, right? Harike is present after the confluence of Satluj and Bias. Water is diverted from Harike reservoir to Indira Gandhi Canal, and the water is being brought into the entire northwestern region of Rajasthan to provide water for irrigation purposes. Irrigation, domestic, all needs. Further, done with the rivers, we'll move into the next. While discussing about the agriculture of the region, we'll discuss about the Indira Gandhi Canal, what it brought in benefits and the problems as well. Minerals, lead and zinc. Lead and zinc. The next subtopic, minerals, lead and zinc. Garnet, Garnet, garnet. Feldspar, feldspar. Copper, copper. Lead and zinc, garnet, feldspar, copper. Rock phosphate. Very important one, this one. Marble, marble. Iron ore, iron ore. Lignite, lignite. Gold, GOLD. Gold. Granite சொன்னா granite. Reserves of petroleum and natural gas. Reserves of petroleum and natural gas. Take the locations for petroleum and natural gas. Deposits of petroleum are present in Bikaner and Barmer. Petroleum deposits. They're speaking about the deposits, right? They're not speaking about exploration. Deposits in Bikaner, Barmer. Natural gas. Jodhpur. Natural gas. Jodhpur. Jaisalmer. Sorry. Jodhpur. Jaisalmer. Places where petroleum and natural gas deposits are present. And with respect to marble, India is the largest producer of marble in the world. India is the largest producer of marble in the world. And Rajasthan is the largest producer of marble in India. Rajasthan is the largest producer of marble in India. The region has calcareous soil, calcareous rocks in the region. Usually, Gautam would have discussed in the classes, right? I hope he has come and he has discussed all those things. These two batches are Gautam has finished, right? Yes, no? Yes. Oh, fine. Thank you. So, I will come to the questions after that. I didn't check the questions here, right? You would have discussed about calcareous soil rocks when it has been available, and when there is a large amount of rivers or high amount of rainfall takes place, that gets eroded, sinkholes will be there, all your karst topography landforms will be created. Yes, but Rajasthan does not have enough amount of rivers. Rajasthan does not have enough amount of rainfall. Rajasthan is not a humid climatic condition for the karst topography to be created. Rather, Rajasthan is a arid climatic condition. So calcareous rocks, calcium carbonate rocks, doesn't get eroded. Instead of that, high amount of temperature, a large amount of pressure, and there is no process for evaporation. So what happens is, over the time period, a process of metamorphism takes place. The calcium carbonate rocks are converted into marble. That's how we get the marble here. Calcium carbonate rocks in arid environment or dry region gets converted to marble. Gets converted to marble. Just for the understanding, these numbers are discussed. He said India is the largest producer of marble in the world. Close to 90% of world marble production comes from India. right? The numbers is only for your understanding. So you can see we are the largest, right? And within India, we said Rajasthan is the largest producer of marble. Close to 85% of India's marble production comes from Rajasthan. Numbers is only for your understanding, right? Shall I move? And we discussed about the minerals. Now you say what kind of industries will be there. We said limestone is present. So what kind of industry can be present there? Cement industry. Yes. Iron ore is present. So iron and steel industry can be present in the region. Yes. Fertilizer industry. We said lead and zinc. So lead and zinc based industries, copper based industries, all these will be present. And we also have lignite. We have thermal power plants. We have lignite and we do have thermal power plants. I repeat again, cement industry, fertilizer industry, thermal power plant, copper, lead and zinc. Shall I? Places of interest. Next subtopic. You have seen this movie Jodha Akbar or any of the movies that shows the projection of Rajasthan areas. You will be able to see large number of small kingdoms will be there. In Jodha Akbar, it was very clear, right? When they tried to occupy the region, all these small kings, Rajput kings will be having a meeting and saying that whether we will oppose Akbar or we will agree with Akbar's, whether to go into the Akbar administration or we will oppose. There will be multiple kings. And you will also be able to see fort will be there. When Akbar goes to, when Hrithik Roshan goes to meet Aishwarya Rai couple of times, you will be able to see the fort. When you went to Rajasthan, you will be able to see a large number of forts. There are many fort complexes. Fort hills will be located in Rajasthan. Sir, why Rajasthan has fort hills? Because you had small princely states in Rajasthan and everyone constructed a fort. But why? Why they should have a small princely state? Why not a one particular king rule the entire region? It's again geography. It says that because the region is arid in manner, a particular king will not be able to control the entire, a particular ruler cannot be able to control the entire environment. Why not? You have to go for war to assess the particular, take the particular region into your own territory, right? And as a protective measure, they build a fort. You would have seen in Troy or any of the movies, breaking a fort is not an easy job. They will be there for days together to break the fort, right? And in Rajasthan, like arid environment, Thar desert regions, a desertic environment, water is not going to be available. Food won't be available. Environment is completely harsh in manner. So when you build a fort, this is a protective measures. After a few weeks, it is not possible for the particular opposition army to stay there. They will be weakened and it's easy for you to win. So small princely states is there. And as a protective measure, they started building the fort. And this fort has been built over the long time periods. And it's of heritage symbol. Where are we telling the stories? The Fort Hills of Rajasthan is a UNESCO heritage site. Fort Hills of Rajasthan or Hill Forts of Rajasthan. Hill Forts of Rajasthan is a UNESCO heritage site. Shall I? Place of interest. Identify Bikaner. Below Indira Gandhi Canal in the northwestern region, you will be able to see Bikaner. 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 Rat Temple. Bikaner. RAT, rat. Bikaner, rat temple. Come on the lines of the Indira Gandhi Canal. You will be able to see Jaisalmer. In the map itself, it would have been given. Desert National Park. Jaisalmer. Desert National Park. From Jaisalmer, move towards the right hand direction or to the eastern direction. From Jaisalmer, move towards eastern direction. You will be able to see Pokhran. India's both the nuclear missile testing took place in Pokhran. Both the missile testing took place in Pokhran. Yes. Southern part of Rajasthan, Udaipur. Southern Rajasthan region. Can you identify Udaipur? Southern Rajasthan region. Yes? Okay. Thank you, Helen, for always reply. Thank you very much. Udaipur, known for marble, granite. There are plenty of places in Rajasthan known for marble, of course. Molela clay work in Udaipur as GI tag. Molela clay work in Udaipur as GI tag. Again, Udaipur is known for tourist attraction as well. And you can, from Udaipur, if you go on the right hand direction, in Rajasthan, you will be able to see a structure like this, no? This part. In the map, you will be able to see a place called Kota, Kota. Yes, Kota. What is the specialty of Kota? Kota. Coaching institutes. Thank you. Coaching institutes. IIT, NEET, JEEE, colleges, school. You say a coaching institute that will be there in Kota. Kota is known for coaching institutes. Educational coaching institutes. Kota. Rawatbhatta Atomic Power Station is located near the region. Rawatbhatta Atomic Power Station. Rawatbhatta Atomic Power Station. Yes. Kota also has Kota Doria, which has a GI tag. Kota Doria has GI tag. The center of Rajasthan, look in the center of Rajasthan, you will be able to see a place called Ajmer, Ajmer, Ajmer. Ajmer. Or to the right hand direction of Jodhpur, you will see Ajmer. You know where is Jodhpur, we already discussed it. From Jodhpur, you go on the right hand direction or the eastern direction, almost in the same line of Jodhpur, you will be able to see Ajmer. Ajmer. Yes? No? Yes? Shall I? Yeah. Even in Jodha Akbar, there will be one beautiful song, Khwaja, Hey Khwaja. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Khwaja Moinuddin. Khwaja Moinuddin Sisti. Durga is located in Ajmer. Khwaja Moinuddin Sisti Dargah. Khwaja Moinuddin Sisti Dargah is located in Ajmer. One of the important Sufi saint Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti is an important Sufi saint, and Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti Dargah, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, Sufi saint, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti Dargah is an important Sufi shrine in the world. It's an important Sufi shrine in the world. Next to Ajmer, you will be able to see a place called Pushkar on the western direction, left hand side. Pushkar. Pushkar is known for Pushkar Mela. Pushkar. World largest camel fair takes place in Pushkar. Camel fair. World largest camel fair takes place in Pushkar. Above Pushkar, can you see a place called Sambar? Lake Sambar. Largest saline lake in India. Largest saline lake in India. Ramsar site. Largest saline lake in India. Ramsar site. To the right hand direction of Sambar's lake, Jaipur. Sambar is the largest. Sambar lake. Largest saline water lake in India. Jaipur, UNESCO heritage site. Jaipur, UNESCO heritage site. Palace, fort, UNESCO heritage site. And in Jaipur, you also have another world heritage site called as Jantar Mantar Astronomical Observatory. Jantar Mantar Astronomical Observatory. So what is the specialty there? Your astronomical observations have been built there. So what? It is built in 1720s, not today. Today we have all those highly defined telescopes are available, but it is more or less accurate. What is built in 1720s gives you an astronomical observation. Because of that specialty, even today it is more or less correct, approximately correct. UNESCO heritage site. UNESCO Jantar Mantar Astronomical Observatory. Rajasthan is also the leading producer of pulses in India. Rajasthan is also the leading producer of pulses in India. Always remember this. In the drier parts of the country, pulses, you finish that. Rajasthan is the leading producer of pulses in India. In the drier parts of the country, we grow pulses, millets, oil seeds, also some of the vegetables, not all, some of the vegetables and fruits. Pulses, oil seeds and millets are grown in drier parts of the country. Wherever you have water, we grow rice, we grow wheat, we grow sugarcane, we grow cotton, because that gives you more amount of money. But pulses, oil seeds and millets are grown in drier parts of the country. So your nutritional security comes from the driest part of the country. Your millet comes from the drier part of the country. Large amount of such requirements for nutritional security comes only from the dry regions, and there is a large amount of farmers in the drier parts of the country. With respect to the protected areas, Desert National Park we already have seen, right? Above Jaipur, in the northeast direction, look, you will be able to see a place called Sariska with a tiger symbol. Yes, Sariska Tiger Reserve. Below Sariska Tiger Reserve, you will be able to see a place called as Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. Again, another tiger symbol will be there. Sariska. It's a tiger reserve. Ranthambore Ranthambore is a tiger reserve. 2004, shall I? Sariska is a tiger reserve. Ranthambore is a tiger reserve. In 2004, Sariska, we found that it was a tiger reserve even before that, right? And that has been all the operations, all the management, all things were going on. And in 2004, in Sariska Tiger Reserve, it is found that there is not even a single tiger available. How, sir? All tigers have been illegally poached and traded to Southeast Asia, China especially, because Chinese consume tiger. Chinese believe that, by the Chinese mythology, they believe the body parts of tiger has aphrodisiac properties. When you say aphrodisiac properties, what does it mean? It stimulates the sexual hormones. Chinese mythology believes on that. Body parts of tiger, bones of tiger, even the penis of tigers, they believe that it has aphrodisiac properties, so they consume the animal. With respect to the one-horned rhinoceros, which is killed in Africa, which is killed in India, or the two-horned rhinoceros, which is killed in Africa, they believe that the horns of rhino has aphrodisiac properties. So they cut the horn alone, only the horn is available on the face of it, that alone has been cut, that has been traded. Because the powder, they believe, mythology, Chinese mythology says, not the fact, right? They believe the powders or the horn, which is made up of a material called keratin, has aphrodisiac properties. Likewise, they believe on many of the things, most of the things has aphrodisiac properties. And you can guess how Chinese got the largest population in the world. That's also there. My question is very simple. If the keratin, which is available in rhino horn, can give you aphrodisiac property, the same keratin is available in your nails. If that can give aphrodisiac property, this should also give aphrodisiac property, no? Biting the nails. Then they can bite the nails, no? Why to kill a particular animal? And after that, to make sure that particular things has to be reduced, government came up with many of the protective measures. Tigers are even relocated from another tiger reserves to Sariska, and now the population has again increased, right? And right hand direction to Sariska, you will be able to see a place called as Kyoladiogana. Kyola, always go with the wrong spelling, this one. Dio. Kyoladiogana. Kyoladiogana. UNESCO World Heritage Site. Kyoladiogana, UNESCO Heritage Site. It's a natural biodiversity rich region. Above Kyoladiogana, you will be able to see a place called as Bharatpur, just above, it's written in smaller font. Bharatpur, that's a bird sanctuary. Bharatpur, bird sanctuary. We're done with Rajasthan. Any doubts? We are opening the session for the doubts, and we'll finish the doubts, and then we'll move to the next state, Maharashtra and Gujarat and Maharashtra. UP not the largest state. Rajasthan is the largest state. The river Banas ends in Rana of Kutch or flows into Arabian Sea. It will be flowing into Rana of Kutch and then it flows into Arabian Sea, as my from knowledge. It is a form of Arabian Sea systems. I'll check and I'll let you know with that. Thank you, GV. Yeah, I'm fine. No, we have reserves of oil. See, Klodagana and Bharatpur are more or less same places. It's a natural region. It's a forested one. It's large amount of migratory birds comes into the picture. Even if you see Sambar in the Kilodagana regions, above the Kilodagana, they would have been drawn a symbol of a bird. That's a flamingo bird. Kilodagana, Bharatpur, Both are located next to one another. Bird sanctuary. Large amount of evaporation due to the intense amount of heat, large amount of evaporation. So Sambar Lake is been formed with saline. They might be exploring in the future, maybe SIAAD 20505551. Area, yeah, it is the largest is Rajasthan and UP is largest in terms of population. Then we move to the next state, Gujarat. We'll finish few topics in Gujarat and we'll take a break and then we can discuss, right? With respect to Gujarat, look into your Gujarat map. Gujarat. Right? This one, you have two peninsulas. When you say peninsula, it has been surrounded by water on three sides. Then we will be calling it as peninsula. You have two peninsula. The top one is Kutch Peninsula. The bottom one is Kathiawar Peninsula. So going by the name of peninsulas, the top one is Kutch Peninsula, the bottom one is Kathiawar Peninsula. Yes. Then you have this region, you will be able to see small, sorry. You will be able to see a large amount of hills. There are 4 hills, plateau regions will be there in this particular region. The Kathiawar Peninsula, the center, you will be able to see plateaus and you will have hills. There will also be one hill in here, Kutch Hills. In Kutch Peninsula and in Kathiawar Peninsula, you will have Girnar Hills, Gir Hills, Mandav Hills, Badra Hills. 4 hills will be located. Yes. So one, you divide the region into 2 peninsulas. 2, 1, the region is being divided into 2 peninsulas. Two, you have plateaus in the region. Right? The Kathiawar Peninsula is also called by the term Saurashtra region. This part, Saurashtra region. Then northern Gujarat, central Gujarat, southern Gujarat. Northern Gujarat, central Gujarat, southern Gujarat. Shall I? This is the plateau region, right? Saurashtra region is a plateau region. Kutch is a desertic environment. Saurashtra region is a plateau region. Kutch is a desertic environment. The northern Gujarat, central Gujarat, and southern Gujarat are plains. Kutch is desertic environment. Saurashtra region is a plateau region. Northern Gujarat, southern Gujarat, central Gujarat are plains. Shall I further? The coastal regions are also plains. Coastal plains. So what are the things we do have? Desert, plateau, coastal plains, plains. Shall I? Two peninsulas, we discussed about it. Rana of Kutch, we'll go one by one. Rana of Kutch region. Look into the map, you will be able to see in the Kutch Peninsula, in the topmost region, you will be able to see Rana of Kutch. This part. Rana of Kutch region. Yes. In this part where a circle has been made, can you see Little Ran? Little Ran. Rana of Kutch region, and then Little Ran. Rana of Kutch is the largest salt desert. Rana of Kutch is the largest salt desert in the world. Rana of Kutch is the largest salt desert in the world. One. It is not a sandy desert. You don't see sand dunes, you don't see sand particles there. It is completely a plain regions, and there will be a large amount of salt accumulation will be taking place. So the desert is also called by the term white desert, W-H-I-T, white desert. White desert. Rana of Kutch is the largest salt desert in the world, white desert, also called by the name white desert, not a sandy desert. Yes. With respect to Gujarat, largest salt producing state in India. Gujarat is the largest salt producing state in India. Gujarat, largest salt producing state in India. Rana of Kutch is a marshy lands. Rana of Kutch. Marshy lands. During the times of monsoon, the elevation of Rana of Kutch is very, very low. So during the times of monsoon, sea level increases. The water level will be stored in the regions, and the sea water will also intrude into Rana of Kutch regions, and the water will be stagnated. Post monsoon, when the summer has been available, the water will be evaporated. The sea water has entered, right? Water is evaporated in the form of water vapor. What will happen to the salt? Salt will get deposited. Every year the same process will take place. Sea water enters into the region, water gets evaporated, salt gets deposited. So over the period of time, what will happen? Largest salt desert has been created in the region. Yes. Shall I move? And Saurashtra regions, you have plateaus and coastal plains. We discussed with that. Take a break. Come back. We'll start with the rivers of Rajasthan. 5 minutes. It's 11:13. Come by 7. 7:13. Something around 7:18, 7:20. We'll start the class, right? Shall we? Did I miss the tribes of Rajasthan? Bill is the major tribe, and then we have Meena. Important tribes within Rajasthan. Bill is a major tribe. And Meena, these are tribes of Rajasthan. Seems I have missed it. Right? The map West Banas is detached from the mainstream Banas. Yes, there are two. Aravallis is present between, no. The other Banas flows in the eastern side, the West Banas flows in the western side. That's the reason. It's a marshy land. Little Ran is a marshy land, slightly separated. So it's Little Ran, smaller one. That's all. Okay, rivers of Rajasthan. Sorry. Rivers of Gujarat. Sabarmati. We already said origin is in Aravallis near Udaipur region. Right? Origin, Aravallis near Udaipur region. Flows in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Flows in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Sabarmati. Mouth, Gulf of Kambat. Oh, this we didn't discuss, no? This is Gulf of Kutch region, and this is your Gulf of Kambat. Gulf of Kutch and Gulf of Kambat. The Gulf of Kambat goes by another name, Cambay. Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Kambat. Gulf of Kambat goes by another name, Cambay. Sabarmati's mouth is in Gulf of Kambat. The next river, Daman Ganga, D-A-M-A-N, Daman Ganga. Origin, Ambegan, A-M, A-N, Ambegan. Located in Pune. It's a taluk. Ambegan is a taluk in Pune. That's the origin of Daman Ganga. Mouth, Daman Estuary, Daman and Dayu. Daman. Daman Estuary is the mouth of Daman Ganga. Flows in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Dadra and Nagar Havali, and Daman. The other rivers like Narmada, Tapi, Mahi, we have discussed them earlier, so we are not discussing them again. We move to the minerals of Gujarat. Within the minerals of Gujarat, what is available? Lignite, petroleum, natural gas, marble, lignite, petroleum, natural gas, marble, lead and zinc, lead and zinc, manganese, With respect to the industries, we'll go location by location, right? Look into the Ran of Kutch region. Sorry, Gulf of Kutch region, not Ran of Kutch. Look into the Gulf of Kutch region. This part. Can you see a place called Jamnagar? Jamnagar. Jamnagar. Then here, Dwaraka. Yes. Jamnagar. Dwaraka. Look here. Bhavnagar. Bhavnagar. Petroleum refineries. All the places. Petroleum refineries. Jamnagar as the biggest oil refinery in the world. Jamnagar as the biggest oil refinery in the world. Jamnagar, biggest oil refinery in the world. Gujarat is the petroleum capital of India. Gujarat is the petroleum capital of India. And we have discussed multiple times, right? So wherever petroleum refinery is there, what are the associated industries are possible? Fertilizer industry, synthetic textile industry, chemical industry, plastic manufacturing industries. So all these will be located there, right? Around the regions, right? Next one, Alang and Bhavnagar, known for ship breaking industry. Alang and Bhavnagar is known for ship breaking industry. Yes, shall I? Identify the capital. Is Ahmedabad the capital? Which one? Gandhinagar is the capital, right? Will we identify the Gandhinagar? Thank you. Thanks everyone. Gandhinagar, capital of Gujarat. Special economic zones are located. Obviously, you have a capital city. You will surrounding the capital cities. Most of the states, not all, most of the states will have special economic zones located near the capital city. And from there, you will be able to see a road, right? National highway. This indicates national highway, right? Ahmedabad, small two lines will be there running low. It indicates the national highway. We will be moving through the national highway from Ahmedabad to the south of Gujarat. We are starting from Gandhinagar. We'll go to the south of Gujarat on the same line of national highway number 8, right? Below Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad. Yes, underline it. Below that, come further down, you will be able to see a place called as Vadodara. Yes, even below Bharuch. Just below Bharuch, Ankaleshwar. Ankaleshwar. Below that, Surat. Surat. Below Surat, Navsari. Just underline, we'll speak about all the places. Below Surat, Navsari. Below Navsari, Valsad. Valsad. Entire region you will be able to see textile industry. All these are known for textile industries. All these are known for textiles. Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat, Navsari, Valsad, all these are known for textile industries. Bharuch, engineering goods. Bharuch, engineering goods. Ankaleshwar, oil refinery. Ankaleshwar, oil refinery. The places we listed from Ahmedabad to Navsari, all the regions are industrial regions. All these are highly industrial developed regions, right? The same road below Ahmedabad and above Vadodara. Below Ahmedabad and above Vadodara, can you identify a place called as Anand? Can you identify a place called as Anand? Yes. Known for Amul, starting place of your white revolution in India. What is Amul? So how do we do that? Right. So if you look into it, in India, we do have, at least in personal opinion, right, not a factual information, we have three beautiful things in India. I'm not speaking about laziness, not following the rules, corruption, casteism, patriarchies. All these are not beautiful, right? Oppressive ones. We're coming with respect to these beautiful things. We have a large numbers of farmers, and within the farmers, maybe your Mani sir or Sharat would have discussed about with respect to the division of farmers based upon the economic criteria. If not, we have 5 categories of farmers based upon their land availability to a farmer, right? We call them as marginal if the land availability is less than 2 acres. Marginal farmer less than 2 acres. Small farmer 2 to 4 acres. Semi-medium farmer 4 to 6. Medium farmer 6 to 10. Small less than 2. Sorry, marginal less than 2. Small 2 to 4. Semi-medium 4 to 6. Medium 6 to 8. Large 6 to 10. Medium 6 to 10. Large more than 10. Right? This is the criteria. And India, if you combine the marginal farmer and the small farmer, more than 85% of India's farmers are marginal and small farmers. You consider only the marginal farmers, close to 75% of our farmers are marginal farmers. And when we say less than 2 acres, not everyone will have less than 2 acres. Some will have 0.5 acres. Very, very less. Smaller land holdings, right? And most of the land holdings are in the dry parts of the country as well. And this farmer is producing your cereals, pulses, oil seeds, millets, whatever, vegetables, fruits, spices and condiments, whatever it is, they will be producing in large numbers. And they feed 137 crore populations. Tell me one country where the smallest landholding farmers are producing and feeding 130 countries, 30 crores of population. China, the government will pool the land and they will do. That's completely different scale altogether, right? That is not happening in India. Different sort of country, different sort of administration, different sort of ideology. This is completely different. We can't do this here also. No place will be able to feed such a population with a small and marginal farmer. Second thing, this small and marginal farmer and the landless agricultural labor in the villages will have the cattle. They will have 1 or 2 or 3 or few numbers of cows will be available, and they yield the milk for their requirement. Excess of 1 liter or 2 liter or few liters of milk they will be getting every day, and that milk goes to the cooperative societies in the village. For few hamlets of villages, there will be one cooperative society. And every day in the morning or evening, there will be a tanker lorry will come, fetch the milk and goes to the next cooperative society, fetches the milk. Likewise, it fetches all the milks from the cooperative societies, goes to the processing unit at the district level or at the regional level. They process, they pack it and sell it to the people. And that is the White Revolution, which is started by Dr. Verghese Kurian. Verghese Kurian, father of White Revolution in India. Father of White Revolution in India. Verghese Kurian, Dr. Verghese Kurian. And India is the largest producer of milk for close to 3 decades. Decade. India is the largest producer of milk for close to 3 decades. You go to European Union, the countries in Europe, Scandinavian countries, they have Jerseys, Frieston, all your breed varieties which produce a large amount of milk. And they don't have individuals, 1 or 2 or couple of cows, they don't have. Rather, they have dairy as an industry. There will be cows will be there. Their only job is to feed themselves and then they will be giving the milching. That's their only job. It's not happens with respect to India. Your landless agriculture labor, small and marginal farmers, for the last 27 and a half years, more than that, they have been the largest producer of milk in the entire world. No other country was able to do that. Third thing, which I was speaking about. Your fishermen, fishing community people. We don't have fishing industry like US, Canada, Japan, Scandinavian countries, England, European Union, Russia. No, we don't go step into the oceans, stay there for 3 months, come back with tons and tons of fishes. Never. Maximum our fishing boats can stay for a week. Slightly more than that. Nothing, man. You have to come back. Catamaran fishes. Smaller boats. Slightly larger boats. And we don't have fishing industries in large. Individual fishing boats will be there. India is the second largest producer of fishes in the world. Largest producer of milk in the world. Second largest producer of fishes in the world. Feeding a large amount of populations. Self-sustained as well. No other country would be able to do. And all these comes from smaller individuals. But the irony is they never get their due credits or they never get their policy space. Why we are speaking about it? White Revolution. Understand what it is. Amul. If you come to Tamil Nadu, instead of Amul, we will be having Avin as a society. You go to Karnataka, you will have Milma. Milma is in Kerala, right? If I'm not wrong. Milma, Kerala. Karnataka, Nandini. Pondicherry, Ponle. You go to the northern part of country, Mother Dairy will be there. All these are cooperative societies. All these are White Revolution outcomes. Yes? Next one. Kutch. Entire Kutch is famous for tourism. Kutch is famous for tourism. Entertainment industry comes up much in Kutch areas. Large numbers of film shootings, especially the songs, Bollywood, Kollywood, Tollywood, whatever wood you have, right? They go for making songs in Kutch regions. Gujarat has the highest tidal power potential in India. Gujarat has the highest tidal power potential in India. Port, the next one, ports of Gujarat. Wherever the ship symbols are there. Kandla, Gulf of Kutch region. Gulf of Kutch region. Kandla, Kandla. Kandla. Major port. And then the minor ports. Take this down. This is not mentioned in the map. Oka. Dwaraga. Porbandar. What is Porbandar known for? Oka is in the map. Okay, I am using the older version. Oka. If Oka is in the map, fine. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born in Porbandar, birthplace of it, right? Places of interest. Going into next one. Places of interest. Rajkot. Rajkot Patola as GI tag. Rajkot Patola as GI tag. Ahmedabad, UNESCO heritage site. They have an architecture, Indo-Islamic, European mix of architecture is present in Ahmedabad. Indo, INDO, representing Indian form of architectures, right? Indo-Islamic, European form of architecture. All three will be there in Ahmedabad. So, UNESCO heritage site. Ahmedabad is also known as Manchester of India. What do you mean by Manchester of India, sir? Manchester in England is known for textile industry. So, Adumari, like that. So, like how the prominence of textile industry for the world is located in Manchester once upon a time, right? Ahmedabad in India is the Manchester of India. Ahmedabad in Gujarat is the Manchester of India. Mumbai is not the Manchester of India earlier. Ahmedabad is the Manchester of India. Right. Moving to the next one, protected areas. Gir National Park, we already discussed about Gir once, right? With respect to the lines, the first class itself. Gir National Park. And you have Little Rann, right? In that region, we have Wild Ass Wildlife Sanctuary. Wild Ass Wildlife Sanctuary. So, it's your 2011 UPSC preliminary question. All they asked is, where is Wild Ass located in India? Present and distributed in India. That's the only thing they asked, right? Nothing more. Right? Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary in Kutch region. Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary. Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary. Gulf of Kutch regions. The Gulf of Kutch regions as Marine National Park. Gulf of Kutch regions as Marine National Park. Gulf of Kutch regions as Marine National Park. Apart from that, there is one more thing which is of important, which is the animal, the bird one, and the wildlife sanctuary. Great Indian Bustard, which is a bird, and we have a wildlife sanctuary in Gujarat. Great Indian Bustard Wildlife Sanctuary. Great Indian Bustard Wildlife Sanctuary. A major tribe in Gujarat. Bill, PHIL. Major tribe in Gujarat. Shall I? Look into the Rana Kutch region to the westernmost edge. See it in your physical map. Sar Creek, Kori Creek, Gorida Creek, creeks will be there, no? We already discussed while discussing about West Bengal. Creek means a land opening will be there. In the place of a land opening, sea water will intrude, what we call as creek. And those are the creeks in Gujarat: Sar Creek, Kori Creek, and Gorida Creek. And within that, Sar Creek is a place of territorial dispute between India and Pakistan. Sar Creek is a territorial dispute between India and Pakistan. Yes. It's an ongoing project. First phase is over, second phase is going on. It's called as Sauni, Saurashtra, Narmada, Avataram irrigation project. You will be able to see Narmada flowing in Gujarat, right? From that part, by the river which is flowing in Gujarat, which is going into the sea in Gulf of Kambat regions. And while discussing about the Saurashtra region, we said Saurashtra region is a plateau. Saurashtra region is a plateau, also a drought-prone region. Saurashtra region is a drought-prone region. You will be able to see small blue lines in your physical or your political map of Saurashtra, but these are seasonal in manner. They don't carry a large amount of water throughout the year. So what has been planned is your Narmada will be flowing here. The Narmada will be flowing here. Saurashtra is here, right? This region is not having enough amount of water. So what is planned is to put a canal on the above direction, on the northern direction. Canal will be put, the water will be carried to the northern direction, and from there the water will be taken to Saurashtra region through artificial canal and 115 dams to provide water to Saurashtra. Saurashtra region, Saurashtra Narmada Avataram irrigation project. Water is diverted from the flood water is diverted from the Narmada river to the Saurashtra region, through artificial canal and creation of 115 dams. Artificial canal and 115 dams to provide water for irrigation in Saurashtra region. To provide water for irrigation in Saurashtra region. To provide water for irrigation in Saurashtra region. We're done with Gujarat. Opening the session for doubts. If there is any doubts, we'll discuss or we will move to the next state, Maharashtra. And also answer me one more thing. We have seen multiple examples of dams, and every single time we said, sir, this one is for irrigation purposes, this canal project has been taking place. Some dams have been discussed with respect to reduction of the floods. Some dams are discussed with respect to water provision. Some dams are discussed for industrial purposes, in irrigation. Have we, in the class for this batch, have I discussed about the negative side of the dams? Yes, no? Please drop in the chat box. If not, we'll discuss that also, so that you'll get the balanced view. And it's your opinion to take positive or the negative side to the dams. Is Gandhinagar named after Gandhi? I don't know. Okay, GV says yes and other people say no. There are more than 5,000 dams, large dams itself, and there are multiple numbers of small and medium projects. So, you have discussed. Some of you have said it's so we have discussed about the submergence, we have discussed about river ecology, we have discussed about displacement of people, we have discussed about how the deltas are getting affected, agriculture, yes or no? Fine. If it is discussed, then fine. Thank you. I will discuss again. Some of you are saying yes, some of you are saying no. I will discuss it again. No problem. Annual Desert Festival in Kutch, yes. Kite also they fly, no? Very popular. Why Ahmedabad is more given importance than capital Gandhinagar? Large amount of economic development takes place in Ahmedabad. Industries, textile, ellame vandiruchu. So you always speak about more industries there, more population migrate to the place where there is industry. So you will get more amount of employment opportunities, more income will be there. So it got the prominence, and the prominence continue. That's the reason. I'll check about West Banas and let you tomorrow. Mentioned about it in Uttarakhand said, but said we will discuss in detail. Okay. Fine. So we discussed about dams. So, okay. Take the next few minutes. We'll discuss about the other side of the dams. Then we'll start with respect to Maharashtra. Before that, Indira Gandhi Canal is there, no? Water has been brought to the region. Look into the Rajasthan map. That's the northwestern part of Rajasthan. Completely arid environment. Desertic environment, ma'am. Water is not going to be available in the region, right? Completely devoid of water. Rainfall is not available. Rivers are not flowing in the region. So people living in the region also doesn't get water, right? If you are from Tamil Nadu, if you have seen this movie, you will understand this dialogue. 2 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 2 kilometer. And they will be walking on the deserts of Rajasthan, right? Completely arid. That's all, right? You might have seen in large number of Bollywood movies also, or you have visited that, right? So we bought this Indira Gandhi Canal from Arike, and then the water has been provided. Why? Irrigation can be given. And the people, now water is available. So people will be able to do agriculture in the region. Sir, but also need to understand one more thing. The region has calcareous rock, right? And no clouds will be there. Clear sky, excess amount of temperature will be there. Evaporation rate is going to be excessively high. You just bring in the water. Because water agriculture is done, right? Because you do agriculture, you are dumping a large amount of fertilizer also. One. Second thing, the water that is being used, right, will infiltrate downwards. Kilapo. Water goes down. Considering the water that comes is pure, right? Not polluted or not salt water. It's a fresh water, which goes down, right? But still evaporation is going to be excessive, I know. The water which goes down will form a solution with the calcium rocks or any of the saline rocks which is available, that forms solution with it. So salt solution will be available due to excess amount of temperature. Because of the evaporation, the salt solution water which has went down will slightly come up. And it reaches the surface. When it reaches the surface, water will be lost in the form of water vapor, leaving the salts at the surface of the soil. So because you brought in an Indira Gandhi Canal, earlier the salt is present below the surface of the soil, not above. You brought in the Indira Gandhi Canal, water is added to the region, water went down, water formed solution due to high amount of temperature and evaporation. That salt solution came up to the surface, leaving the salt in the surface region. Water alone evaporated to the surface of from the surface it goes, leaving the salts deposited on the surface. White encrustation started forming over, leading to salinization, addition of more salt. Will that result in reduction of the fertility status of the soil? Earlier that was not the problem. Now this is the problem. So fertility status is reduced. Can I say this as an example of faulty agricultural practices which leads to desertification? Yes, did you get the point? Yes, no? One more time. Sure, Hilal. And Sivapriya says, Rani Ki Wow, UNESCO. Yeah. So you go to Gujarat. I'll finish this and I'll come to that point, Sivapriya. Missed it, right? I'm not saying canal irrigation is a faulty practices. That climatic condition, I'll come to the point. After finishing this, I will add to the point so that it becomes clear. Sir, this region is a desertic environment. It does not have any water and it is only a sandy region that has been taking place. You are adding the water to the particular environment, right? So when the water is added to the region, there is a possibility of water infiltration takes place. Consider there is your saline rocks have been available at the surface below and water goes there, it mixes with it. So your saline solution is being created. Earlier there was no water, so there is no possibility of forming of saline solution. You have excess amount of evaporation due to excess amount of heat. The saline, due to the pull of evaporation, the saline solution moves up. When it comes to the surface, leaving the white encrustation of salt on the surface of the soil, water vapor alone is being lost, right? Salts are deposited here. So salinization is formed. Salinization has been formed. Is it fine, Helen? Yeah. Do you mean faulty practices? See, a climatic condition suits a particular type of agricultural practices. I cannot cultivate rice in Rajasthan, right? Why? The temperature is excessively high, water is not available in the region. But I can cultivate rice in a delta region because the climatic conditions are suitable, soil is suitable, water is also available. So my climatic factors and edaphic factors, soil related factors are very important in determining the agriculture pattern. Within this, water plays a major role. If you have a water, you will be able to cultivate. If you don't have water, you won't be able to cultivate. And how does that is being transformed by the inventions? Groundwater. Started exploring a huge amount of groundwater. Sir, my surface is not having water. Why do you care? Go below. There are tanks. 20 years before, 30 years before, we had wells in the region, tanks in the region. Surface tanks gave water. You will have well where people used to take water from the wells. Today you go around the villages and see places like Punjab, Haryana, Karnataka, not the northern parts, still some parts of northern Karnataka there are wells, southern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh regions, Tamil Nadu regions, Kerala regions, Maharashtra regions. Can you identify a well? Gujarat even. Groundwater. And water level is not available at 30 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters we add wells, 30 meters we add wells, 6 meters we add wells, 8 meters we add wells. Today we are going for 1000, not meters, feet. Today we are going for 1000 feet, 1500 feet below to take the water. Slightly we went and took the water and we started doing agriculture. Because water was available, we started doing agriculture. You go to Satara, we'll be discussing about the places. The southern Maharashtra regions or the eastern Maharashtra regions, because of the wells, they were doing agriculture, like even sugarcane cultivation takes place. The region is not supposed to do sugarcane cultivation. Jowar, Bajra. Why you say not supposed to do this? Climatologically speaking, ecologically speaking, that agriculture has to be done according to it. Is it true? India has divided the regions based on agroclimatic zones. Based upon the climatic regions, your agriculture is being divided. The government of India is divided. Based upon the ecology, agriculture zones are divided. It's not just for India, all over the world. But what we do is like we move across, we move beyond what to be done. That is an example of faulty. So we are not saying canal is faulty agricultural practice. Canal in the northwestern part of Rajasthan is an example of faulty. Why do you say faulty? Because that resulted in salinization. Is that fine now? SIAAD 2050551. Thank you. The process is salt weathering, granular foliation, all these will take. We are speaking about, see, weathering and salt foliations are completely different processes. You brought in a water artificially and after that takes place. If we speak about weathering, salt weathering takes place, that takes place naturally in a region, right? That's the difference. Right? Okay, dam pati pesanola. With respect to the dams, what are the problems with respect to the dams? List it as a story, right? After that, I will list you the points. So listen, understand the story, and it makes it easier. A river starts, right? This flows. We have discussed already, some is called as upstream, some are called downstream, where the origin will be upstream, where the below parts will be called as downstream region. Yes? And consider a dam is constructed here. Have you ever seen a dam constructed in the plain region? Plains. You might have seen dam in your life, right? And anytime you have seen dam, you will be able to see solid concrete construction done on one side. One wall of solid construction has been done. You will never be able to see 4 sides solid wall construction has been done. Why? One side river is going to flow. Both the sides, your mountain ridges will be there. And in the valley part, you do the solid concrete wall construction. So only one wall. The other 2 sides are mountain ridges on entire path, and you will have the valley and you are constructing the solid. The river will be flowing in the valley. The other regions are supposed to be the forest. You start constructing the wall slightly above. So now what should happen? The river will be stopped the water level raises, the entire valley has to submerge. For that, you will cut the trees. So what happens there? Deforestation in the dam construction area, one. Second is submergence of the entire land area. Right? Sir, if land is deforested and the area is submerged, what will happen to the animals living there? What happens to the plants living there? Consider suddenly earthquake comes in this building. I would love to, I cannot say your home, right? Because it's not only you, your parents will be there. So I don't want to say that. Consider earthquake comes in this building. So what will happen to me? Collapse? Die? You will be happy. You don't have the next class then. So there will be, when the habitat is lost, so does the species living in the habitat. When you do the deforestation, when you do the submergence, when you collapse an habitat, the species living inside the habitat is also lost. Either it has to be walked out, pushed out, and that doesn't have an habitat other places, or this will be killed. Deforestation, submergence of forest, loss of species. One. Second, this is with the forest we are speaking. But river as an ecology, no, we discussed. Every places, or a few examples of river ecology we discussed. The river will be having dolphin, a river might have otter, river might have some fishes, river might have anything like crocodiles. You constructed a dam. Now is it possible for all the animals to come to this region? Or if the river in this region has some amount of biodiversity, if the water is not flowing, what will happen to the biodiversity living here? So river itself is an ecosystem and the river loses the biodiversity. Possible? Second. Third, sir, you have a delta in the region. And for the deltas, we say deltas are the food bowls of the region. Why, sir? All the rivers comes there, sedimentation will be deposited, silt gets deposited, and that silt is highly fertile in manner, so you will be able to do large amount of agriculture. Your rice, Godavari, Sundarbans deltas, Ugli, Brahmini, Baitarani, Maganadi, Godavari, Rushikulya, Vamsadhara, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Vaigai, Nile, Mississippi, Darling, Murray, any delta you take, all these deltas will be the food bowls of the world. So deltas are also in the coastal regions. Erosion is a natural process. Every time the delta gets eroded, rivers will carry sediments, deposition will take place. So there is a erosion process takes place, at the same time deposition process takes place. Both will take place simultaneously. So your deltas will always be at the same level. And new sediment is getting added again and again. Your fertility status is also going to be the same. You constructed a dam here. Where will the sedimentation take place? In the delta or inside the dam? It takes place inside the dam. So what happens to the delta? Addition of new sediments. Fertility addition not taking place. So what? Agriculture? If that is not taking place, food. So you have to put a artificial factor, fertilizers into the land. If that gets eroded, if the land is available, you put fertilizers, you bring some poisonous food into my plate, I eat. Only thing is I don't die instantly, but that takes place. But if erosion takes place, what happens to the region? Agriculture will also be reduced. This is with respect to the river, one side, right? You can speak much more in detail, right? But I hope you got the point. Apart from that, we said this is a forested region, no? Drop in a message. What comes to your mind when someone says forest? The first thing that comes to your mind when someone says forest. காடுன்னு சொன்னா என்ன ஞாபகத்துக்கு வருதுங்க? Green, trees. Looking into the response, my first opinion is I couldn't see you. That's it. That's my only opinion. I would be happy if I have seen the people who said these replies. Streams, greenery, biodiversity, animals, wild animals. Thank you, Vamsi. Aquifer, Naveen, forest fire, rainfall, animals, oxygen. serene, dense, wild animals, fauna, lush green, tiger, elephants. Thank you very much, SIAAD 2023569. People dwelling inside the forest. You have a large amount of population inside the forest. Species, tribes, thank you, Vasant. Western Ghats, carbon sinks, no negative vibes. Floods. I would wish இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் அழகா இருக்கும் இல்லையா? The answer comes from a particular person and I know the person, it gives me some feeling, right, that I miss in the online classes. Okay, fine, we'll go. Usually there is a construction that forest is equal to trees. No. Forest is equal to flora. No. Forest, trees is one component of forest. There are multiple. There's a large amount of biodiversity. Your vegetation, your flora, your fauna. The soil inside the forest would have been created for thousands of years of some certain process. On the mannu in a forest, the soil is a forest. The biodiversity inside the soil is also a forest. So there is going to be a huge amount of things. We have been submerging it. That is lost. Forest does large numbers of benefits. Someone said aquifers. Recharging will be done. Groundwater. Streams, someone said, flowing of streams will be taking place. Tangible benefits will be there. Fruits, wood. Intangible benefits, relative humidity, climate amelioration, carbon sequestration. Someone said carbon sinks. Carbon sequestration, reducing the impact, mitigating the carbon dioxide emissions and climate change, adaptation. Tangible and intangible benefits. Someone said no negative vibes or positive vibes, or a good feeling, ecotourism, a sense of belonging. I did my graduation in forestry. So, and that particular word will speak why you can understand why I say the sense of belonging. Kaadu enoda veedu. Forest is my home, right? You have all those things, your tangible and intangible benefits. Apart from that, you have, so ecological, forest is ecological, forest is biological, and one more thing, forest is sociological. You have tribes. You have people there, living there for generations and generations of centuries. And this submergence, what will the people do? You have to move the people out. Displacement, you have to displace the people. In 2013, we have come up with an act, thankfully, after a longer time period. The act says Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act. When you acquire a land, the people living in the land, earlier, whether it is resettled, rehabilitated or not, is a individual's project's proponent's one. Most of the times, the government of India's reports and Supreme Court verdicts have said that we have not rehabilitated, resettled. No, for many larger percentages. 2013, we come up with the act. So large numbers of this runs is forest. That is a tribe. So-called civilized people, you and me are, but the tribes are not coming under this so-called civilization, right? And they live a beautiful, pristine life, completely different. And they don't have the so-called education. They don't understand the so-called institutional factors or the organizational factors. How will they be able to settle? Even if they are more associated, more joined, more assimilated towards the outer world, the one living inside the forest will have a different kind of adaptation skills, livelihood strategies, ability, adaptations to live inside the forest. What happens to them when you push out? One example. When Tegri Dam is constructed in Himachal, some of the people are resettled in Rajasthan region. Tegri to Rajasthan, mountain to a plain region. I know how to live in a mountain. I have been taught for generations. Suddenly you change me to the plain regions. Will I be able to live? What happens to my livelihood status? Number two, you go to villages, you will see this one particular thing, casteism. Oppression will be so much, will be there. Even the houses, settlements will be divided. Temple places will be divided. Natural resource utility will be divided. Water consumption will be divided. Streets will be divided. Large amount will be there. But that is also the place where you get a social capital, own gramo, your own village. If you have some problem, at least you will get a loan from someone for interest. Even that, you need to have a contact. You cannot go straight away to someone in the road and ask for a loan. Not possible with interest. You need someone known to get the loan with interest, right? Even that is the case. Even that is a hefty interest. Social capital will be there. You are pushed from your own village onto a newer place. Will you have the social capital? Third thing, you have been entering into a new land. There will always be the person in that land, person of the land. Person of the soil will be there, right? It's not only the son of the soil, there are daughters of soil. There are not only sons and daughters of the soil, there are people who belong to the different genders as well. Person of the soil will be there. there is a huge possibility they might not welcome you with open arms. There is a huge possibility they will have differences of opinion. Exploitation can be there. Conflict will be there. One side your ecology gets affected, other side your biology of the species and biodiversity gets affected, sociology gets affected. We will discuss in Koina, dam-induced earthquake also is been identified, is been witnessed in Maharashtra regions. நிறைய பார்த்திருக்கோம். I'm just giving you, in the earlier classes, we have discussed with respect to the positive sides. This is with respect to the other side of it. Both the sides have been projected to you. Whatever the side that you want, you can take it, right? So, but in downstream areas, only the river area will have sediments, but there in sea river, we won't do agriculture. Only the water will be used for agriculture around the river area, right? There is some typo errors. Can you rephrase it? UPSC experience. For the other batches, I have told with respect to how to approach for preliminary for some 10 minutes. That I will do, right? I believe that there is one place where you don't feel good to speak about your experience. All you people are working people, right? Whenever someone asks you in your working domain, you will be saying, I had 6 years of experience, I have 5 years of experience with all those. Whole door சொல்லுவீங்க. UPSC is a place no one will be able to say the years of experience with happiness. And it doesn't make any sense. But we will be able to see the other ones. Can you please, 2013, not 3, Sivapriya, Land Acquisition, Resettlement and Rehabilitation Act. In case of run of the river hydroelectric project, will there be same kind of negatives like a normal? No, run of the river project comes up with lesser ones, less than 25 megawatt of power production, smaller ones. Impact is reduced. Vanamagan movie, I haven't seen the movie. It's a Tamil one? There are college students too. Okay. Sorry for making a wrong opinion. But is it the one of the chance to develop them, right? Like education. Whose development? Who should define the development? எனக்கு என்ன டெவலப்மெண்ட் வேணும்னு நான் தானே சொல்லணும் வசந்த். இப்போ உங்களுக்கு என்ன டெவலப்மெண்ட் வேணும்னு நான் வந்து சொன்னேன்னா, if I say how you should be developed, isn't that an infringement of your freedom, privacy, space, right? And they are tribes. We have the policies. We are not assimilating them, right? There are much more. Your sociology, Indian society faculty, when come, they will be speaking about the evolution during the times of British time period, how we tried to assimilate, and after independence, how we moved from assimilation to integration, and then cultural integration. Lots of things are tried. They're completely different. With respect to the education, health, we are working on them, and we are not forcing them. We try to give them education inside their area. If they want to study, they can study. We have been having a large numbers of projects. Community health centers are there. Hospitals are there to make sure the basic development needs have been fulfilled. But pushing out is not a development. For a moment, if we think from their shoes for once, if my family is pushed out, if my dad and mom is pushed out, if I am kicked out, then you will get the answers. I was asking Jayam Ravi movie. Okay. Parkling. The one who was a forest driver or a guard officer will be that one, no, right? That one is a different, right? So I was asking the sediments which rivers bring downstream will be only inside the river. No, when it is in delta, it will be carrying the streams. The rivers will be carrying the sediments and they will be flowing. But when they come closer towards the sea, it results in formation of delta. When the river is flowing from the surface, higher slope regions, only that they will be carrying within the rivers. When they comes to the slope regions, when they comes to the sea level, they will result in formation of delta. What you are saying is right with respect to the interior. If this is the river, in this place of delta, sedimentation will take place. Here, this places and all, the river will be carrying the sediments. We take only the water. And when more water is being available, floodplains will take place. And that time, the sediments are over. Excuse me. That time, the sediments are because of the flood, sediment comes out of the rivers, and that time has created flood plains. Your entire, every single river has flood plains naturally created over the years. Thank you, Shobhya. I disagree with you, Vasant. I think we discussed about it. If you want furthermore, we can discuss that also. When we go to Maharashtra, we'll discuss about it, Helen. Thank you, Vasant. So we're done with Gujarat. We'll step into Maharashtra. Right? Take Maharashtra map. ரொம்ப நேரம் பேசிட்டேனா தேவையில்லாம டைம் போயிடுச்சு. மகாராஷ்டிரா. With respect to Maharashtra region, yes, you'll have Western Ghats, right? On the eastern side of Western Ghats, this is Konkan Plain. Then you'll have Western Ghats. Entire region is a Deccan Plateau. Entire region will be Deccan Plateau regions. Look into the map, you will be able to see 4 hills. Harishchandra range will be there, yes, and Balaghat, Satmala, Harishchandra range, Balaghat will be there, Satmala range will be there, Ajanta, and entire part is a Deccan Plateau. Yes? Shall I? This is completely different. The one you see in Konkan region is completely different from what you see in the eastern part of Maharashtra. High amount of rainfall will be there. Excessive amount of rainfall will be there. Because you have a high amount of rainfall, agriculture is also going to be extremely different. Highly rich, highly agriculturally developed region. This region, entire region, rainfall is very, very low. So agriculture will be much less in the region. So agriculture development is also be low. So people in this part and people in this part will be having 2 different forms of development completely. You might have read about in newspapers with respect to Vidarbha, with large numbers of farmer suicide taking place. And there is also one more place, Marathwada, which also came in the newspapers. Compared to Vidarbha and Marathwada is even more drier. Close to 550, 600 mm of rainfall will be there. Vidarbha 750 mm, 800 mm of rainfall. Marathwada is even more dry. That will be here. Konkan region 1500, 2000 mm of rainfall will be there. Completely different. So the kind of crops cultivated here is different from here. Development here will be completely different from here. High developed, less developed. Right? 40% of Maharashtra is drought prone. Drought. 40% of Maharashtra is drought prone. 7% of Maharashtra is flood prone. 40% of Maharashtra is drought prone. 7% of Maharashtra is flood prone. With respect to the rivers, moving to the rivers, we are done with the rivers like Narmada, Tapi, all those, right? So only the other rivers will be discussed. Godavari. I'll tell you the order of the rivers so you'll get an idea about the largest rivers in India, right? The largest river in India by the order. Number 1, Ganga. Ganga. We are speaking only for India. We are not speaking about the river which is flowing in, the same river flowing in Bangladesh or the same river flowing for a particular like Brahmaputra, Tibet region. Its flow only in India we are discussing about it, right? Largest river in India by the order from the highest to the lowest. Number 1, Ganga. Number 2, Godavari. Number 3, Brahmaputra. Number 3, Brahmaputra. 3, Brahmaputra. Number 4, Krishna. Ganga, Godavari, Brahmaputra, then Krishna. We are speaking about the river within Indian geographical region, not about Brahmaputra's Tibet, Bangladesh. No, right? Got the point, right? So Godavari is the second largest river in India. You can say that. Or when you divide the river into Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers, Godavari will become the, what are the? Ganga is a Himalayan river. Brahmaputra is an Himalayan river. Indus is an Himalayan river. The one emerges from Himalayas are Himalayan rivers. One emerges from the peninsular region are peninsular rivers. Simple. So Ganga, Godavari is the second largest river or largest peninsular river. Either way you can say. That's what the order speaks about, right? Origin of Godavari. Trimbak. Trimbak Hills is the origin of Godavari. Mouth, Bay of Bengal. Trimbak Hills is the origin of Godavari. Mouth, Bay of Bengal. The Godavari river basin, all its tributaries, right, spread across the states of Godavari river basin. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, MAHA, Maharashtra, MP, short form. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka. With respect to the tributaries, we have already discussed about Vainganga and Madhya Pradesh. Indravati has been discussed. Sabari or Kolab has been discussed. With those states, we have already been discussed. You will be able to see one more major tributary that flows in Maharashtra is called as Varda. Another major tributary, Varda. Right? There is a river called as Miti in Mumbai. Miti in Mumbai. The river, as usual, like any river which flows in a capital city of a state or an important place, important city, important urbanized place, like this one, the Miti is also been highly encroached. The floodplains are highly converted, and then we say Mumbai is getting flooded every year. You enter into the river, you do all the activities in the river, and then you say it is getting flooded. Like the one which is taking place in Chennai. Your Meenambakam airport is floodplains regions. Your Cochin airport. And then we say Cochin airport is getting submerged. And then now they are thinking about raising a bank to make sure if next time flood happens, the water will not get into Cochin airport. Okay, you raise the banks, water will be there, and the water will recede to some of the places where settlements are there, no? What will happen to the people? Your airport has to be safeguarded. Right? If you look into the Konkan regions, there will be many number of small rivers will be flowing in the Konkan regions, west flowing rivers flowing towards Arabian Sea. West flowing rivers flowing towards Arabian Sea. High rainfall, large numbers of rivers, high rainfall, large number of rivers. Okay. So what kind of crops will be cultivated? Rice. Ragi is cultivated in the valleys, slopes. In the slopes, ragi is cultivated. In the mountain, when we went to the mountains, right, you will be able to see the road will be there. You might have seen the valley regions, and in the valley region, agriculture would have been cultivated. Step by step cuttings will be there. Step will be there, like a step larger area, agriculture will be there. There will be a below step like regions, agriculture will be there, what we call it as terrace farming. Another type, contour farming. This takes place in the Konkan regions because your mountains, steep slope will be there. So terrace farmings of rice cultivation, contour farming of rice cultivation will take place. Ragi cultivation takes place. What are the other crops, sir? We are speaking only about the Konkan. We are not speaking about Maharashtra, entire Maharashtra, right? Spices, areca nut, pak in Tamil. Areca nut, spices, coconut, mango, cashew, spices, areca nut, coconut, mango, cashew, coffee, tea, rubber. Sir, all these are grown in Maharashtra. To the perception of Maharashtra, you'll always think that Maharashtra is dry, only millets are grown there. In Konkan region, it's complete. That's what we said. Konkan is completely different from the rest of Maharashtra in terms of agriculture. So if all these are grown, the agriculture development in the region is going to be extremely high, right? And also, income to the farmer will also be large in manner when you compare to the rest eastern parts of Maharashtra. The next river. I'll take 5 more minutes extra, right? Is that fine? We'll discuss about Mumbai when we go to the place of interest, GV, because it's islands, and then islands are converted into 7 separate islands are converted into one island. Krishna, the next river, Krishna. Origin a place called Satara in Maharashtra. Near Satara. Origin near Satara. Mouth, Bay of Bengal. Tributaries of Krishna we'll discuss when we go to Karnataka in the class, right? The schedule will be out, right? We'll be having the class on Saturday sometime. So we'll be finishing the entire map by Saturday. Only few more states, right? Only the southern part. We'll finish it quickly. Right? That time we'll discuss about the tributaries, because those tributaries origin in Karnataka. That's why we're keeping that. Nothing more. Mouth, Bay of Bengal. Minerals of Maharashtra. Coal, COL, coal. Bauxite. Manganese, coal, bauxite, manganese, limestone. So, limestone is available. What kind of industry can be located there? Cement industries. The kind of industries present there. Cement industries, fertilizer industry. Wherever bauxite is located, What kind of industry can be located? Aluminium. Bauxite is there, aluminum industry. Bauxite is the ore for aluminum, right? Limestone is the ore for manufacturing for cement. So cement industries, aluminum industries, fertilizer industries. And with respect to Maharashtra, you also have petroleum refineries. So when petroleum refineries are there, it's associated fertilizer industry, chemical industry, plastic industry, synthetic textile industry, all this will come. Apart from that, you also have textile industries. Your Maharashtra and Gujarat is known for textile industry. Why, sir? Deccan Plateau is rich in, is made up of basalt, which resulted in creation of black soil, which is more suitable for cotton cultivation. So textile industry started way before Indus Valley civilization. That time itself we had cotton. So it emerged like anything, it grown like anything. Your Ganesh sir, when it comes for history, Ganesh Anna will speak about it, right? 1860s civil war in United States of America. That took place in the southern part of, why are you jumping? You'll understand. Is southern part of United States of America, the civil war took place. And who are the people who did this? Why was there? There was a large amount of racism. The people from Africa have been taken as slaves and they were made to work in cotton fields of southern part of United States of America. And when civil war took place, they are the workers in the cotton fields. Cotton production reduced. So cotton industries are not getting enough amount of raw materials. So there is a drop in the production. And India utilized this. There's a huge production took place and we started exporting. Since 1860s, there's a huge push for cotton industry in India. And you will be, when you read the modern India, when Saranamurthy sir comes in and then he speaks about it, you will be able to see that Ahmedabad, Kheda, Satyagraha took place, cotton mill strikes took place. Mohandas Karamchand, Mahatma Gandhi there, or Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, all these people went for the strikes. So cotton grown. And after that, cotton cultivation has been emerged like anything. Over a period of time, cotton was not able to, your preference from cotton changed to the synthetics, polyester materials, cotton textiles. Oil refineries were there. So petroleum refineries were there. Synthetic textiles also came into the picture, right? And Maharashtra and Gujarat, in 2002, we also introduced BT cotton. Again, like the dams, exactly. There are two views. The world, scientist world has been divided into it. There are some who says BT is the only source. There is a huge population. There is another view which says that no, BT has a large amount of ill effects. These are from the most credible scientists as well, both the sides. So don't see only the positive view alone, right? And with respect to BT, I'm just going to give you the data with the economic data. Before that, our cotton industries were growing, but cotton production was less. We are not able to fulfill the raw materials for the industrial demands. So we started importing the cotton. 2002-03 time period, we introduced BT cotton into India. And within the span of next 13 to 14 years, cotton production increased like anything. 2015, we became the largest producer of cotton in the world. We also started exporting raw material of cotton to the other parts of the world. Largest producer of cotton in the world, 2015, we started exporting. But remember, your science and tech faculty or environment faculty will be discussing about it, the ill effects of BT. It has ethical views, it has scientist basis to say it is not good. It is also there, right? And we spoke about, and the major crops that has been grown is jowar, kambu nu solluvom Tamil. In Tamil we call it as kambu. Jowar, Jowar, bajra, millets, other millets. But today you have rice. This is the natural one, these three. Today we have rice, sugarcane in plenty. The other fruits are also coming up. We will speak with respect to specific places. Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar in India. Maharashtra is the largest producer of jowar in India. Only one point, with that I finish. I missed it when speaking about Madhya Pradesh. So take page number 21 in your second edition and third edition, or Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Odisha political map. Can you identify a place called Indore? Yes. Below Indore, can you see a place called as Mo, MHOW, CANT is written with a dot. Mo, cantonment. Mo cantonment. It's a cantonment. Yes. For Porbandar, there are plenty of people who answered. What is the specialty of Porbandar? What is the specialty of Mo? Thank you, Karthik. Birthplace of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Written plenty of books, all aspects. Okay, you open the session for the doubts. You want me to speak about the orientation for preliminary now? I can do that. I'll take only 7 to 10 minutes, nothing more than that. Mumbai, we'll speak about it, GV. The next class, we'll start with the place of interest. We are starting with Mumbai. Right? Is it fine with everyone? Because it gets extended with you people. It's you people you have to say. Yes? Few more S's, I will start. Thank you. Democracy ரொம்ப முக்கியம்ல. See, you might be writing the test and you do this, and this time you have this online mode and you see one question by one question and it goes on, and you get the physical test. The approach what I have done is for the physical booklet test, because UPSC also gives it. Because of COVID, it is not possible for you. That's the only reason, right? But this approach is for that. And when you write the test, most of the times it's the problem of the society of us, where we come from. The education society has taught us, you write the test, you get 99 marks, you are intelligent. You get 40 marks, you are stupid. Nothing more to speak. There is no medium line. You get 60% in UPSC, you will be the topper. Closer towards the topper, one of the toppers. 60%. No one can get 100%. 60% in preliminary, you cleared the preliminary. 60% in mains examination, your score is enormous. Interview, you can get more than 70%, 75%, and all that is possible easily. 200 out of 275 is highly possible. People get it, right? Not a big deal. So coming back, altogether 60% you will get the service, the topper service, right? You want only 60%, not more. You want an average. That's it. So, all questions everyone will not be able to understand. No, not at all possible. So only 60% is required. Always keep that in mind, right? Second thing, when you write the preliminary test and when you feel over, that is not where it ends. For me, the test starts only after the preliminary test you have completed. But most of the times, even if a booklet is you are writing, with a booklet, you write the test, you keep it in a file, forget it. No, that's not how it is. If your marks are low, try this approach, and if you don't get the score marks after 2 tests with this approach, genuine try, we'll sit and speak why it is not there. I can give you that confidence. The first thing, if the test is on Sunday, don't read till Sunday. Finish the portion by Tuesday. Revise for next 3 to 4 days. That is very important. This is not your final year educations, where we have done with respect to the basis, like you would not have even taken the notes in the class. I did it, at least. I have not taken the notes in my class. I used to go to my friend's room, hostel. Anand will be there. I used to go to his room. I will say, Machi, read loud. I will lie down in his bed and I will ask him to read loud. He reads loud and he even explains. I will listen, go to the examination, get 80 some more percents, come back out. That's it. That's how many of people would have done. Or take the notes from the person, him or her, Xerox, photocopy it and read it. That never works here. You have to finish it, you have to revise it. Only by revision you will be able to know it. Only then, if not, what will happen is, you will go to the examination, you see the test, and then you will say, yeah, I read this test, I read this question, but I don't know the answer. That is because you did not revise. And because of that, you got struck, you won't able to complete the 100 questions, and you say time is not sufficient. You have read, you have revised, you see the question, you will go for the answer, see, next question. Within this one question is over, you go to the next question. So your time constraint is not going to be a problem, right? Second thing, after the test is over, please do attend for your discussions. Ask questions. And when you write the test, what we do is, what generic approach is, don't go from 1 to 100, one question, two questions. What is possible is, first question, if you know, work on it. If you do not know the next few questions, don't touch it, keep it reserved. Attempt only the questions which you know for sure when you read the question paper, right? And answer the question. So the first round is for the confirmed questions, what you think it is right, and mark it down. This is confirmed question, right? The second round is for the 50% option. The third round, you don't know the question, or you might know the question, or you don't know the answer, or you don't know the question, but you will be able to say, C cannot be an answer to this question. இது மட்டும் வராது. So you have eliminated 25% and 75% possibility is there. First round is 100%, second round is 50%, third round is within 75% you choose it. Give marking for every single thing. Why, sir? The first round you make 100% no. If you, for example, you attended 50 questions in the first round, 45 questions in the first round. When someone comes on the dais and says that, you will say answer is C and the person will say A. Your confirmed question should never go wrong. But what happens actually is, you put 50 questions for confirmed question and you get 20 marks. 30 will go wrong. And negative marks will also be added. The easiest way to improve your score is to make sure your confirmed question should not go wrong. If you attempt 50 questions, minimum 46 questions or 47 questions should be right. 3 questions can go wrong. That is your, or 5 questions can go wrong. As much as you reduce, you are clearing the preliminary. How to do that? Attempt. Attend the discussions, write it down why you are wrong. You have to do your own feedback mechanisms. You have to identify why you are doing wrong in an area where you studied, in an area where you are confident, and you thought it is a confirmed answer, but it went wrong. Take a notepad, write it down. Test number 1. These are the mistakes I did with respect to confirmed questions. These are the mistakes I did with respect to 50%. These are the mistakes I did with respect to 75%. These are guess questions. You can't change the guess work. You cannot change the 75% work, but you can change the 100%. You can slightly work on 50%. First thing to work on is 100%. You have to identify. There will be common errors everyone will do. Not seeing the not reading between the lines, not reading the word only, not looking into fact. Instead of 10 marking in 10, 11 in the OMR sheet given, instead of 10A marking in 10B. If the question is big and the statements are given, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and after that you have to choose the options 1, 1, 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 and 4 only. You would have decoded in earlier, missed it in this part, or decoded in both the parts, missed while answering in the OMR sheet. These are common mistakes everyone will do. Never do a common mistake. When someone is doing a mistake, you should not do it. That's a logic, that's a mantra to clear the preliminary. One. Second thing, you will do a mistake which is unique to you. உங்களுக்கு மட்டும் தான் பண்ணுவீங்க, வேற யாருமே பண்ண முடியாது. I have my own unique mistakes. For example, I prepared geography for my preliminary days. When geography was in preliminary examination, I prepared that time. We used to read a large number of books. These maps are very, very minute when compared to the geography optional student whom we teach. And what we teach them is minute when compared to what we read during the times. Because the question paper was different, nothing more. The paper demanded that, nothing else. So we read a lot. And I used to put a lot of thought when it is climatology question, and I will always go wrong. And when I come back and I'll speak to the Sankar sir, the mentor of mine, I used to tell him, sir, that particular point in this book, this particular point in that book. Then he will say, you are a general studies student now, not a geography option student. Don't overthink. Then I realized, what is my mistake with respect to climatology? If it is polity question, there will be one pub-ad question that comes, which I have not read those books. Then every time for 3 years in UPSC, I attempted, I went wrong. I spoke with Arun sir. And he said that, no, this is pub-ad. You need these books to read, which I can't read. So I had stopped attempting the questions. I have to leave 10 questions, no. I started leaving those questions. I decided which question I should pick, and I also decide which question I should not select. I decide both the things. Likewise, you decide both the things. So you get the feedback mechanism, common errors, your own unique errors. The first step to solve a problem is to accept there is a problem. When you don't accept a problem, you won't solve the problem at all. The second step to solve a problem is to identify where the problem lies. That's the feedback control. That is what you get in feedback mechanisms. You identify the problems. Third, you will easily find solution. ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குன்னு ஒத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா, ப்ராப்ளம் எங்க இருக்குன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா, ப்ராப்ளம் சால்வ் பண்ணிடலாம். If you accept there is a problem, you identify where the problem, solution is easy. There is a lot of things, even for when you become a bureaucrat, for all the problems that you face in the world, solutions are plenty. Where do we lag, sir? Where do we fail? We don't identify the problem. The problems are at street level. The problems are at village level. The problems are at hamlet level. The problems are taluk level. But we sit for a state and we write a policy for the state. That is where we fail. Identify the problem. Accept the problem. Identify the problem. Work on the problem. You'll get the solution. இது மூணு பண்ணும். And the feedback mechanism, identifying the problem. Next test when you come, you should make sure these are my problems and I will make sure I don't make the mistakes again in the next test. Again. 18 tests, 20 tests, 40 tests, 60 tests, 100 tests I write before the preliminary. I make all the possible trial and errors. I find my mistakes. I make sure I don't repeat that in UPSC. You'll get the better scores. And with respect to the preparation, I always say to the class for all these years, prepare like Rahul Dravid. Like if you watch cricket, you understand this, the strokes, the defense. It's very meticulous preparations. It goes by the book. It goes by the theory. Prepare like him, but play like MS Dhoni. You are in Sri Lanka. Rohit is in the verge of hitting a century. People are throwing bottles, water bubbles, and all those things into the cricket ground. Umpires are worried whether the match will be continued or not. Rohit may be worried whether I will hit the century or not. Sri Lanka will be worried about the name that unpopular name that brings into a knot. Dhoni will be sleeping on the pitch. It's like you will decide. No, when you decide, it's fine. Come and wake me up. I will play. Never worry about failures. Never worry about success. Go to the examination. Every question is your first question. Why, sir? If you think 14th question is your 14th question, if the earlier 13 questions are a grand success, கொம்பு முளைச்சிரும், தலகணம் வந்துரும். You will think that you are the best. You will do mistakes. Attention span will lost. If earlier 13 questions are a flunk, you failed, your motivation will be dropped. But if you think every question, 99th question is my first question. முன்னாடி 98 என்னன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. All 98 I do not know. 99 is the first my question. Last question in the interview board of the 45th minute is my first question. I don't worry about what I did earlier. My success and failure is not going to decide me. That's all. This is another. And one more reason to go for rounds is to make sure you attempt all the questions. You read thrice, you understand the gravity and intensity of the toughness of the question paper, so that you will be able to know this one. Whether I should pick for 82 questions or 85 questions or 90 questions or 80 questions, 94 questions. Easier the question paper, more the numbers. Tougher the question, lesser the numbers. The lesser numbers can be 82, 83, not lesser than that, usually. Even more tougher you can reduce, but it's about the toughness. You cannot fix a limit. Generally, we say 85 questions. That's the general limit. But based upon toughness and easiness, it varies, right? And one more reason why we go for rounds is, for you, 4 different set of question papers will be given. Question is going to be the same. What the questions you get is going to be the same, but set is A, B, C, D set will be there. The first 10 questions for you will be 40 to 50 questions for me, which will be 90 to 100 questions for another person. So that set position of the questions will be different. The first 10 questions, which is highly easy for you, in a different set, what I got will be 90 to 100. If I go by the round, I will find that 90 to 100 in the first round itself, and I will make sure that I correct. If I go one by one, I finish all the tough, easy, unknown, known questions, and if time is not available, I miss the last 10 questions which I do know the answer. So these are simple approaches which I learned over my time with life. I think this makes sense. Any doubts? Hope it was helpful. Any doubts? We'll speak or we'll end the session. It's already late and I don't want to keep you. We'll be working from the morning. You pay me for that. You don't need to thank me for that. Thank you. Any questions? If not, we'll end the session. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being kind. So we'll end the session, right? No doubts, right? And this is my mail ID. And next class will be our last class with respect to Indian map. Other technical parts will be dealt after, right? In due course of time, if you come across any doubts, you're free to drop a mail and we can discuss. Any doubts with geography or with respect to UPSC? Fine. What happened to the screen? Screen என்னாச்சுங்க? போயிடுச்சா ஒன்றில்? Some technical error. You can listen to me, right, Vasant? நான் தெரிய மாட்டேனா? ஸ்க்ரீனுக்கு என்னாச்சுன்னா? பிளர் ஆயிருக்குமா? Internet fluctuating. He says that I will look less clear, less blur, right? என் மூஞ்செல்லாம் பார்த்து என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? விடுங்க. கேட்டுதானுங்க. Thank you very much. So we'll end the session. We'll see you again in the next class. No doubts, right? Okay. யாரும் டவுட் கேட்கல. கண்ணு முடிச்சுக்கலாம் கண்ணு நம்ம. Thank you very much. Thank you all.